Hey guys, this is Amit and you're watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Poco M3 Pro versus Redmi Note 10, and we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. And in the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, M3 Pro have triple camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. Whereas Note 10 also comes with quad camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So the winner here is Note 10 because it have quad camera setup which have ultra wide camera. And about the front camera of the devices, M3 Pro have 8 megapixel of wide camera whereas Note 10 have 13 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is Note 10 because it have 13 megapixel of wide camera which can take low noisy photos in low light condition. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. M3 Pro have dual LED flash, HDR and panorama whereas Note 10 have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have dual LED flash. And about the video recording options in the devices, M3 Pro can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps and Note 10 can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps, Full HD video max at 60 fps. So the winner here is Note 10 because it can record in 4K format. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. M3 Pro have Android 11 support whereas Note 10 also have Android 11 support, so it's a tie. And about the user interface of the devices, M3 Pro have MIUI whereas Note 10 have MIUI, so I will call it a tie because both of the devices have same user interface. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. M3 Pro is powered by Dimensity 700 based on 7nm processor whereas Note 10 is also powered by Snapdragon 678 based on 11nm processor. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have faster processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, M3 Pro is packed with Mali G57 whereas Note 10 is packed with Adreno 612. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it can give you more FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. M3 Pro can clock at 2.2 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset whereas Note 10 can clock at 2.2 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices have same clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, M3 Pro comes with 2 RAM variants, 4 and 6 GB of RAM variants whereas Note 10 have 2 RAM variants, 4 and 6 GB. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices comes with same RAM variants. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. M3 Pro comes with 2 storage options, 64 and 128 GB whereas Note 10 also have 2 storage options, 64 and 128 GB. So clearly it's a tie because both of the devices have same read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, M3 Pro have dedicated card slot whereas Note 10 also have dedicated card slot. So it's a tie here. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. M3 Pro have 6.5 inches of display. In the other side, Note 10 also have 6.43 inches of display. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices have approx the same screen size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, M3 Pro have approx 83.7% whereas Note 10 have 83.5%. So clearly both of the devices have same ratio, so it's a tie. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. M3 Pro comes with Full HD Plus display. In the other hand, Note 10 also have Full HD Plus display. So I will call it a tie. And about the display type of the devices, M3 Pro have IPS LCD display having 90Hz of refresh rate whereas Note 10 have Super AMOLED display. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have 90Hz of refresh rate which can increase your viewing experience during the game. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. M3 Pro have 8.9mm of thickness whereas Note 10 have 8.3mm of thickness. So clearly the winner here is Note 10 because it have slimmer body design. Talking about the weight of the devices, M3 Pro comes with 190 grams of weight whereas Note 10 have 178 grams of weight. So I will call the winner here is Note 10 because it have lighter body weight. And about the protective glass of the devices, M3 Pro have Gorilla Glass 3 whereas Note 10 also have Gorilla Glass 3. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of glass. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. M3 Pro have plastic back with plastic frame and Note 10 have glass back with plastic frame. So the winner here is Note 10 because it have solid build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices. Let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. M3 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner, in the other side Note 10 have side mounted fingerprint scanner, so I will call it a tie. And about the sensors in the devices, M3 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas Note 10 have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass. So again it's a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. M3 Pro have 5000 mAh of battery, whereas Note 10 also have 5000 mAh of battery. So clearly it's a tie here because both of the devices have same capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. M3 Pro have 18 watts of fast charging, whereas Note 10 have 33 watts of fast charging. So the winner here is Note 10 because it can charge up your device faster. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. M3 Pro comes with normal speakers, whereas Note 10 have stereo speakers. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, both of the devices have 3.5mm of headphone jack, so it's a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices, starting with the WLAN of the devices. Both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot, so it's a tie. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, M3 Pro have 5.1 generation of Bluetooth, whereas Note 10 have 5th generation of Bluetooth. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have newer generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. M3 Pro have 8 GPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas Note 10 have 8 GPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS. So I will call it a tie here. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, M3 Pro comes with 2nd gen of Type-C connector and Note 10 also have 2nd gen of Type-C connector. So it's a tie here. Moving to the price of the devices, in the international market, starting price of M3 Pro is around $180 and Note 10 is available from $170. In the Indian market, M3 Pro have starting range from 16,000 rupees, whereas Note 10 is available from 12,500 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera the winner is Note 10, in the performance the winner is Note 10, in the display the winner is M3 Pro, in the body segment the winner is Note 10, in the features of the device the winner is Note 10, in the communication chips it's a tie, and about the prices the winner is Note 10. So the decision is totally yours. Which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what do you think, which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what's your thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.